Good afternoon. This is News Around the World on Pensioners 106.7 FM, Agbarigo, Onireke, Ibadan. I am Laulu Olatubosun. Buhari attends UK Africa Summit in London. Libya's military strongman Haftar in Greece ahead of ceasefire talks. China's birth rate hits record low. And in sports, second fastest marathon runner takes on world record holder. Now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja today for London to participate in the inaugural United Kingdom Africa Investment Summit holding on Monday. Hosted by the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the event, according to the organizers, is expected to bring together African leaders, international business chief executives, and heads of international organizations. The aim of the event is to create new partnerships that will deliver more investments and jobs to the benefit of people and businesses in African countries and the United Kingdom. Also, issues of sustainable finance and infrastructure, trade and investment, future African growth sectors, and clean energy and climate are expected to dominate presentations and discussions during the summit. Governor Hope Uzodimma has made several key appointments as his new administration settles down to work, naming the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Attorney General, Chief of Staff, and Chief Press Secretary. Chief Cosmas Ewu was appointed SSG, while Barrister Kok Akaolisa is the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice designate. Chief Nnamdi Anyaichi was appointed Chief of Staff, and Oguike Nwachukwu, the Chief Press Secretary, CPS. Uzodimma was sworn in on Wednesday night, about 24 hours after the Supreme Court declared him winner of the March 9 election and sacked Emeka Ihedioha in a stunning verdict. It was an all-joy for Ibrahim Abayomi, a 500-level undergraduate of the University of Ibadan, at the maiden edition of Shina Adegunle Business Summit SABS of the Junior Chambers International JCI Ibadan when he was announced the winner. The summit, with the theme Failure of Startups in Nigeria, Problems of Funding, held in Ibadan, the state capital. Of the total of 56 young entrepreneurs submitted their business plans, only 5 were picked to discuss their plans at the summit, and 3 competitors emerged winners, with Mr. Abayomi being the overall. The President GCI Ibadan chapter, Mr. Oluwafemi Marquis, said the summit was an eye-opener to young entrepreneurs, to opportunities in the business world, and a way of giving back to the society.
We do it on a small scale in our organization. We do it at our meetings where we have a business venture, we have a business summit, just on a low scale. But we intend to take it to that level way back 2 years ago. But for different constraints and different things beyond our control, we couldn't have it. But I was so passionate and I had the encouragement needed to make sure that this is something that we achieve in 2020.
The chairman of the summit's committee, Mr. Moshood Abiola, said the summit was organized for young entrepreneurs because it is believed that they have taken the leadership position in the world. The 3 top winners out of the top 5 finalists expressed their joy while they commended the sponsor, the organizers of the summit, the panelists, and the judges for being fair in their judgment and for making their dreams come to reality. Meanwhile, the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Seun Fakorede, has said he is impressed with the business summit of the Junior Chambers International JCI Ibadan, as it is a way of giving back to the society, especially the youths. Akorede, who spoke at the event in Ibadan, advised the youths not to be scared of taking the bull by the horn in the entrepreneurship world.
I would say that I was impressed, especially because for me, the things that actually get my ears up are things that borders on empowerment, especially for the youth. And I was impressed that with the review and commendation of the judges for the youths that actually made a presentation today. I'm actually impressed that we have youth that could actually pitch their projects, and then they are getting the necessary funding and backing to engage in these things.
The sponsor, Dr. Adeshino Adegunle, said, being a past president of GCI Ibadan, he felt honored that the summit was named after him, reiterating that Nigeria youths have a future in entrepreneurship.
I've been president in the same long, and they felt it's one of the ways to honor me, and based on the fact, I presume, of what we were able to do in the past and what I'm kind of doing. The issue is moving from today to the future. Ascertaining our own future starts from developing the relevant youths that matter now, that can take over what we are doing right now. And what happened today is something that everybody could see that we actually got a future.
The judges and panelists also commended the sponsor, Shina Adegunle Business Summit, SAB's organizers, and the competitors, while they urged young entrepreneurs not to despise their little beginnings by being consistent in their business dealings. This is Pensioners 106.7 FM. Now, let's talk some pension and labor stories around the world. Any effort towards national development without input from the nation's engineers is not only incomplete, but also a form of denying a critical sector the opportunity to contribute its own quota to national development. This was the consensus of stakeholders at the investiture ceremony of the 26th chairman, Nigeria Society of Engineers NSE, Ibadan branch engineer Abdul Wasi Ajagbe. Star reporter Tunde Tiamiyu was at Jago Center, Ibadan, venue of the event, and filed in this report.
Entering the event center, one will easily tell that an epoch-making event was ongoing, as most members of the society were in 2- and 3-piece suits, while guests put on beautiful traditional attires that suit the occasion. Delivering the investiture lecture, an engineering consultant who is also a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers from Lagos, Engineer Victor Oyenuga, emphasized the theme of the program, collaboration as tool for transforming the Nigerian natural and built environment through collaborative professionalism.
We are here chasing millions of naira infrastructure jobs. $1 mega million jobs are being given out because we lack capacity, and we refuse to pursue it because of lack of trust. Less than 5% of Nigerian consultants are in the field of oil and gas because we lack the capacity in terms of man-hours. So this position requires the collaboration of many professionals, including members of the built environment, accountants, financial analysis, and economists, bankers.
On how to engage engineers for national development, especially on food security, Mother of the Day, who is also the wife of the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, Professor Amdalat Olaniyan, stressed that Nigerian engineers were not being properly utilized in the nation's agricultural sector.
I believe engineers cannot work in isolation. For example, I'm a farmer. I need engineers to be able to give me water. For Nigeria, throughout the year, we can produce food. The only limitation is water. So if you have irrigation engineers that can now provide water for farmers, that will be ease the farmers' work and be able to bring food to the nation.
After the lecture came the investiture and handing over of the Medallion of Power by the outgone chairman, Engineer Adedamola Falade Fatila, to the new man on the block, Engineer Abdulwasi Ajagbe. The new chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Ibadan branch, otherwise known as the Premier Branch, Engineer Ajagbe, assured members it will work to consolidate on the solid foundation laid several years ago, which has ensured the survival and sustainability of the society beyond its founding fathers.
My vision is development. What I'm going to do that is to try as much as possible to ensure that the engineering family work together as expected. Synergy between the Nigerian engineers, the technologies, the technicians, and of course the craftsmen.
Among the new ESCO members sworn in by the new chairman are Vice Chairman Engineer Adekunle Olaoye, General Secretary Engineer Ibrahim Bello, Treasurer Engineer Sarah Akintola, and the Publicity Secretary Engineer Victor Ogunranti. Others are Engineer Fausat Agboluaje, Assistant General Secretary, Engineer Henry Bolaniwa, Financial Secretary, Engineer Olalere Sulaiman, Technical Secretary, and Dari Oyebisi, S officio. The event had in attendance President, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Babagana Muhammad, represented by Engineer Oluyemi Morakinyo, past chairman of the branch, members of the association, as well as friends and family members of the new executive. Tunde Tiamiyu reporting for Pensioners FM.
The controversy surrounding the implementation of the new minimum wage in Ogun State may soon be resolved, considering the level reached during the last negotiation between leadership of the State Labour of the chapter of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, the Trade Union Congress, the Joint Negotiation Council, and government team. Speaking with newsmen in Abeokuta, the state chairman of the NLC, Comrade Emmanuel Bankole, said they had a meeting with the government team on the implementation of the new minimum wage and the consequential adjustments, and the meeting, according to him, was very fruitful. Opponents of President Emmanuel Macron's proposed overhaul of France's pension system marched in Paris and other French cities, the latest round of street protests against the government plan that also has brought 43 straight days of railway strikes. At the call of trade unions, train and metro workers, teachers and other workers took to the French capital streets, demand that government scrap its pension proposal. Hard-left unions said they still were dissatisfied despite the government's decision last week to suspend a central piece of the proposed reform plan, raising the retirement age to qualify for a full pension from 62 to 64. You're still on to Pensioners 106.7 FM Ibadan. And now to some other stories. The Libyan military strongman Khalifa Haftar has met the Greek Foreign Minister Nikos Dendias in Athens on his way to a conference in Berlin this weekend aimed at ending the Libyan civil war. According to reports, General Haftar is due to hold further talks with the Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis on Friday, though the agenda has not been revealed. And in the coming weeks, the senators will decide whether Trump should be removed from office over charges brought by the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, as things wrapped up on Capitol Hill on Thursday, Trump told reporters in the White House he thought the trial should go very quickly. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei is to lead on Friday prayers in the capital Tehran, first time he will be doing so in 8 years. The last time Khamenei led Friday prayers in Tehran was in 2012, on the 33rd anniversary of the country's Islamic Revolution. Leading Friday prayers in the capital is a symbolically significant act, usually reserved for times when Iran's highest authority wishes to deliver an important message. China's birth rate has fallen to its lowest since the formation of the People's Republic of China 70 years ago, despite the easing of the one-child policy. The National Bureau of Statistics said the birth rate was 10.48 per thousand in 2019, the lowest since 1949. The number of babies born in 2019 dropped by 580,000 to 14.65 million. The country's birth rate has been falling for years, posing a challenge for the world's second biggest economy. Despite the birth rate falling, a lower death rate meant China's population hit 1.4 billion in 2019, inching up from 1.39 billion. Kangaroo Island in South Australia has been likened to a Noah's Ark for its unique ecology. But after fierce bushfires tore through the island this week, there are fears it may never fully recover. The park is run by Michelle Sam, who lives with his wife and 19-month-old son, Kono. This is Pensioners 106.7 FM. We'll be back with some entertainment and sports stories. The chief executive of the Recording Academy, which organizes the Grammy Awards, has been removed from her position just 10 days before this year's ceremony in Los Angeles. Deborah Duggan was placed on administrative leave following an allegation of misconduct, the Academy said in a statement. Duggan had replaced former chief executive Neil Portnow, who caused controversy in 2018 when he suggested female artists should step up if they wanted to be recognized at the Grammys. She was the Academy's first female president. Kenenisa Bekele, the second fastest marathon runner of all times, will take on world record holder Eliud Kipchoge at April's London Marathon. Ethiopian Bekele, aged 37, was only 2 seconds off Kipchoge's world record in Berlin in September. According to him, he is looking forward to racing against Eliud again. They have had many great battles over the years. Meanwhile, London Marathon event director Hugh Brazier has called it the head-to-head that the world is waiting to see. For any information, please reach out to us on 080 22373535 or 081 200 86270 or visit us at Pensioners House, Agbarigo, Onireke, Ibadan. The news editor is Yetunde Oke, assisted by Mike.
Angel Blickis, you're looking very beautiful.
So I was about to say the same thing, that you look radiant. You look really beautiful.
I'm blushing.
Welcome on board.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. Really good.
All right, amen to that. Security Lens is the program.